Oh, it's been a long time coming. Prep for this day since birth. Whew, man. Well, we were about to start the intro, but as you can tell, we're trying to stay as true as we possibly can to the name. We are, in fact, on a curb with real life cars passing by and real wind and real everything. That's kind of the ultimate goal of this podcast is...
Okay, first off...
Hold on, let me speak. We're trying to be as authentic as possible, and I just want you guys to know that before we start anything and before we even really get into this podcast. This is something that her and I kind of came up with on the fly. But truthfully, we do want to be authentic and real and show you how we actually are, not just, on the outside or on social media or stuff like that. I don't know why you're laughing.
Because we didn't even say hi.
I know, we didn't even say hi, but I just want the people, the masses to know, we're being as authentic as possible. But anyways, I guess we'll do the formality and the real stuff, I guess. So anyways, let's take like a 20-second break and then we'll do the intro.
Okay. You just went off.
I don't know where that came from, to be honest with you. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't know where. Okay, all right.
Okay. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Welcome to our podcast.
Curbside
Sitdowns. Mm-hmm.
Clearly, we're on a curb, as I previously said. It's hurting my butt, but, that's okay.
We want to welcome you guys to our first episode of our podcast. I'm Vanessa.
I'm Nico.
I'm 23, gonna be 24 in October.
I just turned 21 in January, so...
Save the comments, please.
Yes, please.
Save the comments.
Please.
We get out.
If you want, DM me, and I'll laugh at them. Trust me.
We know the age is... Yeah.
Better
than 6 years or 7 years. Let's just leave it as that. Anyways, we decided to do this podcast just for entertainment purposes. Obviously, for our first episode, we're new to this. As you can tell, we don't even have a microphone yet. Yeah. We'll get there.
we got to start from the bottom, make our way up.
We'll get there.
As Drake once said.
But yeah, we just want to have fun. I don't know. We were kind of talking about it. Like, we kind of have a purpose, but at the same time, we kind of don't have a purpose.
It's mixed. It's mixed, to be honest.
We're just trying to hopefully entertain you guys while also trying to entertain ourselves in a way. It's just a way to kind of distract ourselves too. Some of you guys know, some of you guys don't know, but like we typically actually hang out like on a Friday only, so this could be a kind of way for us to
keep ourselves busy.
Yeah,
basically. Keep
ourselves busy, and we'll be catching up on each other while you guys there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where do I start?
Well, first and foremost, I also want to give a little bit more insight.
I'm a little sick too. So
the reason behind this podcast. I think what we're trying to get across is that we want to be as relatable to not only each other, but to you guys as much as possible. And just show a little, like, sneak peek into our lives and show that anything really is possible as long as you put your mind to it. We kind of want to be a little bit of an inspiration as well to show you that you can achieve anything. I know we're just starting and stuff like that, but I felt even starting this to begin with and even planning it to begin with is just an accomplishment in itself. Most people can have that idea and not act on it, and I feel like that's a really powerful thing that her and I really decided, like, hey, we're going to jump into this, and we're going to try and do this for as long as possible, as long as you guys want. And, we're just really out here to have fun. So.
Car. But also, I do want to answer a few questions that I've gotten, and I also posted like a little question thing on our Instagram. But a lot of questions that I've gotten was like, what's the topics are going to be? Like, what are we going to talk about? Like, how often are we going to do this? Are we going to have guests on our, like, podcast? Like, all these questions. So, for starters, I'm going to roll back all the way to the beginning. And the whole point of, like, the name, Curbside Sitdowns is, like, obviously, like, as you could tell, we're on the curb recording this. We figured, like, it's a name that's gonna fit to what we're doing, because when you sit on the curb, you kind of have, like, those conversations that are, like, sentimental. They could be deep. They could be, like, they inspiring. Like, it just hits a lot more different than if you were to have a conversation with just someone, I don't know, like getting coffee or whatever. So we want to stay true to the name, like Curbside Sit-Downs. But, of course, there's going to be times where
we won't be able to be on a curb.
Yeah.
Especially with the upcoming fall season and winter. We don't want to be freezing our asses off, basically, sitting on a curb. So sometimes the scenery will change or background noises may change, but again, we're going to try and remain as authentic and true to the name as possible. And
when we bring guests too, like, I'll leave it up to them. If they want to sit in the curb, we'll sit in the curb. But if not, we could always, sit somewhere and actually record. And hopefully by then we'll have a microphone.
Yeah, maybe even a set little area too. But we just want to make our guests comfortable too. And I guess obviously that answers the question, are we going to have guests? Yes, eventually we are. And most of them will be either friends, family, or sometimes we'll have possibly small businesses, to share their journey and have them be able to talk about their life experience as a small business owner. And, maybe they can give some insight to you guys if you guys are trying to start your own small business or already have one,
Reason why we're mentioning small businesses is because we do know a lot of people around us who are starting or already have their own small business. Mm-hmm. So I feel like with what we're doing, we could possibly influence you guys to, support them while also supporting us, vice versa. Like, it's expensive out there. So I get why people are doing small businesses. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But just props to everyone who do have small businesses. And if any of you guys are thinking about doing it, like, it doesn't hurt to try. I mean, we're trying our podcast. Hopefully it goes well. We're hoping it goes well. Yeah. So it's like, just do what you gotta do. Like, life's too short to overthink it.
And like the great Michael Jordan once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And he really lived by that. And I seen that as an inspiration as a kid. And I know that wasn't my era or anything, but my family, my father especially, was a huge Michael Jordan fan. And just hearing the stories about them attend games and stuff like that, and showing that he really went through anything to help his team, help his community, and most importantly, just do what he believed in and what he wanted to achieve. So with that, I just want to say, like, again, bringing it back to the beginning, anything is possible, guys. You just got to put your mind to it and keep going. Don't ever give up. That's the one thing I like to live by, because once you give up, you already lost. You lost half the battle. So
true. We did ask like a poll or question, I don't know what it's called, on Instagram. I did like
a poll.
Is it like a poll?
I think so.
Where you ask us questions that want to be answered in today's first episode. So we only got 2 questions. First question is, what's to come in the future with you guys? I don't know if that means just us or like the podcast, but we can answer it both ways.
Yeah. So, genuinely, I think we see ourselves expanding as much as we can. As long as we're still having fun. Obviously, we're going to keep doing this podcast. We want to also make it fun for you guys, too. So, anything we can do to shake it up a little, I guess we could say. We're definitely open-minded to any suggestions you guys may have as well.
Especially for it being our first time, like...
we're first-timers. We're rookies, guys.
Yeah, we want to make sure you guys are on this journey with us. And we're still trying to figure out things, too. Like we said, like, some ideas that I have, saying them out loud could be like, but how is that going to work? I don't know. My brain works a certain way, you know? But it's like, we're trying. What's to come in the future with us, I guess, as a couple? I don't know if that's part of the question or not, but I guess we could answer it. But, I mean, we've been together for 1 year and 6 months. It wasn't an easy year.
I feel like this one was kind of the roughest.
Was not an easy year.
Okay, all right.
If you know, you know. But this one over here, he wasn't.
All right. Well, I guess we didn't explain, too, a little bit about ourselves as well. So I guess with that question, we can explain a little bit.
Okay, so here's a little background story of our how we met type of thing. Okay, so we worked together for the same company.
Okay,
if you know, you know.
No.
We're not going to name the company, but if you know, you know.
Even more. I'm gonna give you some me meeting Vanessa context. So, like she said, we're not gonna obviously say the name of the company. I mean, I don't want no one showing up to our doorstep or our job and being like, "Hey, I know you guys." Anyways, so I've been working in retail for almost as long as you have? 6?
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right. I'll say like 5 years. She's been like 7, almost 8, whatever. Anyways, side note. And I had been hopping around jobs a lot. I was a terrible employee.
But he's loyal to his companies. I'll give him that. I worked so many retails and my resume is just...
Okay, I won't lie. Hers is like a scroll compared to my one sheet of paper, you know? This girl, oh my God, they even looked at her wrong. She was like, okay, I'm out. But anyways. Yes. Anyways. So this job I kind of took a little bit more serious. I still was a bad employee. I would do no call, no shows. I would just not show up. I would fake being sick all the time just because I didn't see, things from an adult's perspective. I was still a kid, honestly. And so a little bit of a fast forward. I had heard from one of my coworkers that we were getting a new manager, right? And so this one over here. Anytime I hear that, I'm like, oh, God, who are we going to get now? Are we going to get someone who's just going to hound us like dogs, or someone who doesn't care about their job, which makes us not care? That was neither of the answers that I was expecting. So what I had heard about her previously was she was pretty cool, pretty easygoing, fun to be around. So I was like, okay, let me see if this is for real.
It was for real.
It was for real. First day she comes in, I don't want to seem like, that guy, but like my jaw was kind of on the ground. I was not expecting her to be walking through the door.
Literally, I kid you not, he was at the corner of this table and he was just like this, just staring at me. And I had to text my friend because she's the one who kind of put me to the job. And I was like, who is this person? And she was like, yeah, like, he's cool, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, right now he's just literally just, like, staring at me. But I was like,
okay. In my defense, nobody told me otherwise that I was looking like a full-blown creep, staring at her from point A to point B. I really don't have any words for that part. Moral of the story, Jesus, I can't talk. Damn. I'm getting nervous talking about this shit. Anyways, moral of the story, my jaw hit the ground, right? So anyways, so I kept getting, like, prompts by another coworker, like, oh, I bet you can't get her. Oh, I bet this. So I'm like, me as
I was part of a bet, apparently.
Okay, all right. It wasn't like that, okay? But anyways, me being the, alpha male I am, I was like, watch me get her, So I started talking to her more and more, and the more I realized, like, she was an actual, like, human being, not like those clones out there, if you know, that are all the same, have no personality and stuff like that. The more I started talking to her, the more I realized, like, she was her own person. She was not following the trend. She was not doing what others said, or, how people like to copy, like, celebrities or other people because they want to be cool in life? She wasn't like that.
I literally showed up to work with leggings and an oversized sweater. I don't think that was a good impression, but
to me it was. I mean, the fact that you were able to rock that bummy fit, like, it's not bummy to me.
Oh yeah,
but,
and I had
like,
a bun on too.
The fact that you could rock that bummy fit, I was like, okay, this girl's she's got it like that, Anyways, so there was this one time where I had a conversation with her and another coworker, and we're all sitting at, like, the main area where like the register is and stuff like that. It was a really dead night. And me and this other coworker were mainly talking while she was kind of hopping in the conversation a little bit and stuff like that. But I started asking her, like, sports questions because I had heard she was into sports. And so I asked her to name a Cubs player other than Javi Baez, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, or Kyle Schwarber. I don't even remember who you named.
My answers were David Bodie.
That one threw me off.
Kyle Hendricks.
Again, another curveball right there. No pun intended. Well, maybe a little bit.
Dang, what was the third one that I said? Oh, Dexter Fowler.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! But the fact that she said David Bodie, who? Like, I know who, but, like, I did not expect her to know that. So that instantly grabbed my attention.
If you were to ask me now, my favorite player is Nico Horner. Anyways, long story short.
No, let's back up real quick.
Long story short, we met during work, yes. He was impressed with my baseball answers, yes.
Not only
but
that,
also...
But get this, guys. She was my boss.
Yes, I was his supervisor at the time. But also, I think, like, it was very tricky for us. I was more in, like, a sticky situation too, like me having a higher position than him, like, if this is something I want to do. So I tried talking to him outside of work and all that stuff, and
oh my God, she pulled a freaking slick one of these days.
So,
oh my God.
So I first texted him, like, hey, like, what's your Dunkin' order?
Keep in mind, this is at 7 o'clock at night. I'm at my sister's little dance performance at her freaking middle school. 7 at night. I'm not at work. I didn't work at all that day. She texts me out of nowhere. She says, hi. I go, hey, ? And she goes, what's your go-to Dunkin' order? I'm like, what?
Yeah, so, like, it got him out of nowhere. But from there, like, we just started talking, and, well, I tried to talk to him. He blocked me multiple times.
Okay.
I kept trying to talk to him.
She never forgets to say that part.
I kept trying to talk to him, but he kept blocking me, so that was that. Now, fast forward from that was, like, a few months in me working there. We finally came together, I guess, in a way.
I finally asked her to be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And the reason why I kept blocking her and, like, being all distant was because I thought she was playing with me. I thought she was playing with my feelings, just trying to either set me up, get me in trouble at work, or just...
Okay, yes.
I don't know.
I could see it from that perspective, but also think about it. Before he asked me out, it was a time it was like a snowstorm in around the area,
Oh
and
my God, yeah.
I went to the store to go buy him a Dunkin' gift card and like a little teddy bear, and he didn't want to give me his address. He gave me a park that was like nearby his house
Again,
to meet him
I
up.
thought you was trying to set me up or something.
So yeah,
Don't blame me for that.
so that happened. He finally saw me. We saw each other, whatever, and then he finally asked me out. I like the next month, because that storm was like around December.
Yeah.
So now we're here. It is a long story, so I'm trying to cut that story short.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Again, first time storytelling.
Yeah, hopefully that answers that question. Another question was, what are you most excited about with this new adventure of hosting a podcast?
You want to say your part first?
Yeah. I'm kind of excited to, I guess, be back in this environment. I went to school for photography. I did film too. Like, this was kind of like my thing. I also had my own like YouTube channel with doing behind the scenes. So this is kind of me getting back into that environment that I love so much. But it's also doing something different. I've never done a podcast, and I feel like doing it with someone that I absolutely love and adore.
Aww. Cue the aw sound.
It's gonna be like just a whole new like what's the word?
Journey?
Help.
Experience? Oh my God.
Yeah, journey. That's what I wanted. Journey. So that's what I'm most excited about, and I hope that you guys are enjoying this as much as we do. I do want to keep growing with this as well. We are going to be posting this on YouTube too. So, once we make an announcement on Instagram that our video first dropped, we're going to link our YouTube channel there. So make sure you guys subscribe. And we'll also be posting this podcast on Spotify. And eventually, if things go well, hopefully we'll be on more platforms. But for now, we're here. And yeah,
Okay.
your turn.
All right. So my main excitement for this whole, I see it as a little fun project, is because this is my first time in this realm. This is me dipping my toe into her realm, basically, of film, photography, videography, podcast, things like that. Growing up as a kid, I always used to watch YouTubers like Danny Duncan, Vanoss, for the gamers out there. A bunch of car videos and stuff like that. I always wanted to be a part of that world, I wanted to share my own story and show my own journey, and hope that people would be with the journey, with me on this journey, and just enjoy watching my day-to-day life. So I'm excited to see how far this will go, what we can do, what we will do, and I'm just proud of us for even starting this. Really actually going through with this. I've always wanted to do this, but I never had the courage to. And I always wanted to do it with someone that, for one, I adored.
He's using my words.
Second, that I love and trust. And third, someone who already had experience in this realm. And I'm just excited to be a part of this too. I'm willing to go as far as we can, honestly. This has been fun, even just doing this right now. Just being on this curb, having a genuine conversation. 2 college students just making their way through life,
Yes. So this is our pilot episode. So it's basically like an introduction of what we're doing. Hopefully we kind of knock down some of the questions.
And please, if you guys have more questions, feel free to, DM our Instagrams or stuff like that. And, you don't always have to wait for a poll or anything. If you have questions, we're definitely going to be very responsive and very interactive with our community. So,
Yeah, and with our Instagram too, we're trying to be a lot active on there for a way to engage with you guys. So there is going to be some polls. There's going to be like asking questions. I want to do like ask questions on Thursday that you guys want us to answer on Friday. One last thing. For us being a little bit different with this podcast, we're not doing much of a editing type of thing.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be like mainly raw footage. I mean,
yes, and a lot of feedback that I've gotten was like, you're supposed to edit some things. It's like, yeah, like technically you are, but I feel like with the no editing, I feel like this is like
it's more genuine.
Mm-hmm.
We're really talking to you guys, and we really want to be interactive with you guys as many times as I can say that. I mean, yeah, we just want to be genuine, guys.
The only editing we'll be doing is like this video part, because I have to add the audio to that. But I think with the video on, I don't really think I'm going to be cutting anything. I'm just going to keep it raw too. But yeah, so I think that's all I got.
Okay.
You?
No, I think that's it. I think that's pretty good for first episode. Just a little introduction.
Yes. Next Friday will be our actual like first episode. Yes.
Be ready, because we want to answer your questions. We want to talk about your topics too and share our views from them as well. We want to be with you guys and make you feel like you're with us and stuff like that. We are gonna love our community. We already do. And yeah, we just want to talk about things you guys want to hear too.
Yes, and I'll also be throwing in a poll later on this week too if you guys want us to have a guest for our first episode. If we do get yeses, I'm going to have another poll saying if you guys want to be in our podcast, to like enter your name and then do like a little like spin the wheel type of thing that they have.
A little raffle
and then,
to see.
Like to pick out a name and then we'll announce it to whoever it may be. So like I said, just be on our Instagram. We're a lot more active on our Instagram. It's really our only way to communicate with you guys, unless you guys text us privately or DM us on our Instagram. But this is the end.